You're about to embark on an incredible journey into the world of entrepreneurship, specifically tailored for New Hampshire. In this explainer, we're unlocking every single secret, step by step, on how to start an LLC right here in the Granite State. Seriously, don't click away. If you're serious about turning your business dream into reality, this is your ultimate guide. So, let's jump right into it.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The foundation of your name and plan. 2. Your registered agent. 3. Filing your certificate of formation. 4. Crafting your operating agreement. 5. Handling taxes and EINs. And finally, 6. Maintenance and resources.
So, are you ready to build your Granite State empire? Because if you are going to take that massive leap as a founder, missing even one tiny detail can cause some pretty huge delays. To make all of this super practical and easy to follow, we're going to use a hypothetical startup, we'll call them Granite Peak Consulting LLC, as our ultimate roadmap.
Okay, let's start with Section 1, the foundation, name and plan. Every hero needs a name, right? For the founder of Granite Peak Consulting, this meant navigating New Hampshire's pretty strict distinguishability standards. It's not just about picking something that sounds cool, it actually has to be legally available. First off, your name must end with an approved designator like Limited Liability Company, LLC, or LLC. Then, it has to be completely unique. You can check this using the official NH Quick Start portal. But here's a really quirky insider tip. The official portal actually ignores LLC suffixes when it checks for distinguishability. So if you search Granite Peak LLC, it might give you incomplete results compared to just searching Granite Peak. Definitely keep that in mind.
And you also have to watch out for restricted words. Using terms like bank, trust, or university requires special state board approval. Without it, your application gets immediately rejected. Also, absolutely never imply any sort of government affiliation. Now, if you find the perfect name, but maybe you aren't quite ready to file today, you can actually reserve it for 120 days for a tiny fee of $17 online. Or if you want to operate under a completely different brand name than your official LLC name, you can register a trade name, which is also known as a DBA, for just $50.
Moving right along to Section 2, the anchor, registered agent.
So it is time to find the official legal bouncer for your business. We call this the registered agent. This agent is basically your business's absolute anchor. They are the person or the company formally designated to receive service of process, which means things like court filings, lawsuits, and subpoenas, along with all your official state correspondence. They ensure you never miss a critical, time-sensitive notice that could cause your brand new LLC to fall out of good standing.
The really crucial point here is that your agent must have a physical New Hampshire street address, and they literally have to be available there during normal business hours. Using a P.O. box or a virtual mailbox? Yeah, that's an automatic failure. You can totally be your own agent, but just know your home address will go on the permanent public record, and you are tied to that address every single business day. That's exactly why so many founders just opt for a professional service.
All right, on to Section 3, filing your certificate of formation.
Once our hypothetical Granite Peak Consulting secured its name and agent, it was time to finally make it official. Filing your LLC online in New Hampshire costs exactly $102. That includes a $100 base filing fee plus a $2 electronic processing charge. Hitting submit and paying that fee is literally the exact moment your business legally begins to exist. Pretty exciting, right?
To do this, you'll submit Form LLC-1 to the Secretary of State's Corporation Division. If you do this online, processing generally takes an incredibly efficient 3 to 7 business days. But wait. Here is a major pitfall you have to avoid. You must specify a descriptive nature of business. A lot of states let you lazily write any lawful activity for your business purpose, but New Hampshire? They will reject that outright. You need a specific description, something like software consulting and development. Next up is Section 4, the DNA, operating agreement. We are now entering what is arguably the most critical internal step, drafting your operating agreement. While it's actually not legally required to be written in New Hampshire, since oral and implied agreements are technically recognized, if you skip this, state default laws take over your business. And here is why that is so dangerous. Without a written agreement, state law automatically allocates profits based on the value of capital contributions rather than an even split. So picture this. If you put in $90,000 and your partner puts in $10,000, but you verbally agreed to split profits 50-50, well, the state defaults to 90-10 unless you have it in writing.
And for the solar founders out there, having a written operating agreement for your single-member LLC is an absolute must to protect against a very unique New Hampshire law.
Under RSA 304-C126, if a court finds that normal distributions won't satisfy a judgment against you personally, they can literally order an execution sale of your entire membership interest. That means a creditor could buy your interest, strip you of your control, and liquidate your hard-earned assets. A rock-solid written operating agreement helps prove your LLC is a separate entity and not just a personal piggy bank, providing a totally vital layer of protection.
Moving to Section 5, Taxes and EINs.
The next big threshold Granite Peak Consulting had to cross was navigating the complex web of federal and state taxes. But don't panic, the Granite State makes this relatively painless. Step 1 is applying for your Employer Identification Number, or EIN. Think of it as a social security number for your business. It is completely 100% free on the IRS website, takes about 15 minutes, and is mandatory if you want to open a business bank account. After that, you'll set up an account on the Granite Tax Connect portal for state taxes and secure any local industry licenses or permits your specific town might require.
Now check out this table because New Hampshire's unique business tax landscape is awesome. It thankfully completely lacks personal income and state sales taxes. However, you do need to watch out for two specific state business taxes. For 2025, the business profits tax is 7.5%, but it only kicks in if your gross business income exceeds $109,000. Then there's the business enterprise tax, sitting at a low 0.55%, which applies if your enterprise base or gross receipts exceed $298,000. It is a very business-friendly environment, but you absolutely must know your thresholds.
Finally, Section 6, Maintenance and Resources.
You've built your empire. Congratulations. But keeping your LLC in good standing isn't just a set it and forget it kind of situation. You need to pull out your calendar right now and circle April 1st. Every single year, you must file an annual report with the Secretary of State and pay a $100 fee. If you forget, you'll be slapped with a $50 late fee, and eventually, you risk falling out of good standing entirely. Oh, and you'll also need to manage quarterly estimated taxes if your revenue triggers those state thresholds we just talked about.
And here is an amazing, honestly surprising update for businesses. Under a brand new rule from March 2025, U.S.-formed companies and their owners are actually completely exempt from beneficial ownership information reporting under the Corporate Transparency Act. This means most LLCs no longer need to file this extra annoying federal paperwork, saving you so much time and compliance headaches. As you manage all of this, make sure you bookmark these official state and federal resources. NH Quick Start is for your business entity records, Granite Tax Connect is for state revenue, and the IRS portal is for your EIN. But please, be incredibly careful to use the .gov addresses. You really want to avoid those privately owned lookalike websites that will try to charge you unnecessary, totally bogus fees for free public services. We've navigated the name requirements, the registered agent, the filing, the operating agreement, and the taxes. You literally have the blueprint in your hands right now. The Granite State is waiting for your innovation, your drive, and your ideas. So tell me, what is stopping you? Take that incredible first step and officially launch your business today.
Before we wrap up, I just need to remind you that this explainer is strictly for informational purposes. Every single business is uniquely different, and you should always consult a qualified professional, like a lawyer or a CPA, for personalized legal and tax advice. You now hold the keys to the Granite State. The only question left is, what legacy will your business build?